This video is not only gonna change the way you look at your food, wellness, and taking care of yourself, but it's also gonna give you practical steps to shed weight and get your energy back. I'm not a doctor, but I did spend the last 365 days of my life preparing for this video. Just look how chunky and unhealthy I looked in the last video I posted. I've done my research. I'm beyond excited to share what I've learned in hopes that it helps you too. Meet my son, Rhythm. From birth until he could eat solid foods, he struggled with feeding. Also known as he puked a ton. After working with the pediatricians, multiple hospitals, GI, and ENT specialists, he was diagnosed with GERD. It's a reflux disease. It's a chronic condition where stomach acid frequently flows back into the esophagus. Long story short, we were instructed to start feeding him Nutramigen hypoallergenic infant formula. Here's where things took a huge turn. From June until August 2023, Rhythm experienced seizures daily. And believe me, there is nothing worse than watching your child have a seizure every single day. We had multiple visits to the Children's Hospital of Atlanta after the severe seizures with no answers and no guidance other than continue to monitor him. Fast forward to December 31st, 2023. We were notified of a recall from Nutramigen where a possibility of contamination with Chronobacter sakazaki was found. What's one of the side effects? You guessed it, seizures. And the recall dates lined up perfectly with the period of Rhythm's life where he had seizures all the time. Despite notifying the manufacturer, the hospital, and the FDA about these incidents, we have yet to receive acknowledgement or support. We're even in an active lawsuit with Nutramigen, and to this day, they claim publicly that there has been no reported adverse events related to the recall. Hello, what about this one? All this got me really thinking. What other chemicals are not only in the baby formula, but are also in the food that we eat every single day? My life took a complete turn after that, and I must warn you, the rabbit hole I went down is thick. So stick with me because I want to do my best to help you live your best life. So step one, learn what's really in your food. I used to just look at calories and sugar content, but now I dig deeper. There's an amazing app called the YUKA app that's totally free. You can just scan the barcode on any food item in the grocery store, and it shows you all of the additives in that product, along with all of the scientific studies that explain the side effects and all of those additives. It's truly eye-opening, and I learned a ton. If you have kids, make this a game with them when you go grocery shopping. For example, if you're looking for, say, milk at the grocery store, scan the barcode and look for the one with the highest rating on YUKA. It'll probably be something like pasture-raised, grass-fed, with no additives. Step two, avoid highly processed foods. In the standard American diet, about 60% of the daily foods that we intake are from highly processed foods. The heavy reliance on highly processed foods is linked to increased rates of obesity, heart disease, diabetes, and chronic health issues in the US. Avoiding these foods altogether can be one of the best moves for your health, and I know it's hard because they're everywhere. Problem number one with processed foods is you're left nutrient deficient. Since processed foods are often stripped of your essential vitamins, minerals, and fiber during manufacturing, it can lead to nutrient deficiencies, which affect everything from immune function to skin health to energy levels and mental clarity. Side note, as a guy who used to be sick every 5th week, I can confidently say I have not been sick in over a year. Another major issue with processed foods is the high sugar content. Excessive sugar also spikes insulin levels and contributes to energy crashes, mood swings, and even addictive eating behaviors. Yeah, I know, you're probably watching this with some chips in your hands. I'm not gonna blame you yet. The third major issue with processed foods is something that I'm most passionate about, which is the harmful additives and preservatives. Processed foods almost always contain additives like artificial color, flavoring, and preservatives to improve shelf life and taste. I hope you know this by now, but certain food dyes are also linked to hyperactivity in children and may be carcinogenic in high amounts. The last year of my life, all the research that I've done, all the Netflix shows that I've watched, absolutely everything, it kind of all came down to one issue, which is your gut health. The gut health is the most important. To give you an example of the importance, 90% of your serotonin levels are produced in the gut. So if you're eating right, you're gonna be a lot happier. Have you noticed lately that you're always in an awful mood, or maybe your spouse is in a crabby mood? Your poor diet could lead to imbalances in your gut bacteria, as the gut microbiome affects your mood and your brain function. The processed foods are calorie dense, but they're nutrient poor, leading to overconsumption. These foods are engineered to be highly palatable, making it easy to overeat. Obesity is a major risk factor for numerous chronic diseases. I need to put that out there because there's a lot of people that are gonna fight me on chronic diseases can't be cured with food. I am passionate about using food to actually fix all of your chronic diseases because I truly believe that it is possible. Back to it, processed foods increase your inflammation and your chronic disease risk. The chronic inflammation is a silent driver of many serious health issues, including your cardiovascular disease, diabetes, arthritis. Over time, inflammation also contributes to your cell aging and increases your susceptibility to disease. Doesn't it sound like just eating right will fix everything? Processed foods have a negative impact on your mental health. Eating junk food promotes poor blood sugar control. It weakens your immune system, and it also leaves you with a higher risk of cancer. Processed foods contain preservatives and other chemicals that are linked to cancer. Check the studies on that YUKA app when you scan your food every single day. Additives like nitrates found in your processed meats are linked to an increased risk of colon cancer, while others, like artificial sweetener, are suspected of having carcinogenic effects. Side note, the FDA has one of the least strict regulations on artificial sweeteners of any other developed country. By opting for whole foods, fresh fruits, vegetables, whole grains, not enriched, not bleached, whole grains, healthy fats, and lean proteins, you're giving your body the nutrients it needs to thrive. I know I rambled for a very long time about processed foods, but honestly, if you cut those out, you're gonna shed weight, you're gonna feel a lot better, you're gonna think a lot clearer, and everything's gonna be better. So once I cut all of that out, I thought, there's gotta be more in this life. What else can I do to find a better, healthier lifestyle? What I learned is that the third most important thing you can do for your body is to avoid all of the seed oils. Seed oils like canola oil and vegetable oil are everywhere, but they're not good for us. They can actually cause inflammation in your body. I recommend switching to alternatives like ghee butter, coconut oil, or olive oil. Make sure it's from a single origin. You can even use animal fats like Buffalo Wild Wings does when they're frying their chicken wings. Once you start avoiding seed oils, you may notice your inflammation going down. Seed oils, including canola, soybean, corn, sunflower, and vegetable oils, are found in pretty much all processed foods, and more than likely your mom's kitchen. Omega-6 and omega-3 fatty acids should ideally be balanced in our diets, but seed oils have skewed this ratio. Do restaurants even cook with anything besides seed oil? Well, it's really hard. There's a couple of apps you can use to try to track where the seed oil is being used. But yeah, it's really hard to avoid that. A high intake of your omega-6 can lead to your chronic inflammation, a root cause of your conditions like heart disease, arthritis, asthma, and even certain cancers. Seed oils contain polyunsaturated fats, or PFAS, which are highly reactive and unstable under high heat. Obviously, you need high heat to cook. When these oils oxidize, which happens during high heat cooking, they form your toxic byproduct, like aldehydes. Why are we still cooking with this? They may even cause oxidative stress and make you look old. Mom, just kidding, she made a lot of difference and she's lost like 20, 30 pounds. I'm not gonna throw my mom under the bus. Guys, this will undoubtedly make you a better human being if you just apply half of this to your life. You'll be happier, you'll think clearer, you'll have more energy. I know that it's hard to stick with me, so let me just bust out some one-liners that I learned after digging through the rabbit holes in my life. When you're at the grocery store, when you're buying eggs, go pasture raised and organic. Why? Because these eggs come from chickens that aren't packed into small cages or given unnecessary antibiotics. They're healthier for you and often have higher nutrient levels like omega-3s. Another one-liner, avoid PFAS or forever chemicals. You have to watch the movie Dark Waters. I think it was on Netflix. You'll never look at Teflon pans the same. PFAS cause serious health issues like cancer, hormonal disruption, immune impairment, and development problems. They are found in your non-stick cookware, stain-resistant fabrics, food packaging, and contaminated water. I completely gutted our kitchen. I threw away all the plastic Tupperware. I threw away anything that was non-stick, and I traded it for ceramic. Ceramic's a good one, or stainless steel. Those are all real good products that you can use that aren't gonna have those PFAS in it. Did you know in the last 10 years, over 1,000 chemicals have been introduced into the American food system? If it looks like a poem is being written on the side of the products, throw that crap away. The last thing you want to do is put it in your body. Why are we doing this to ourselves? My wife and I's journey in the last year of our lives, we've also learned about GMOs. Genetically modified organisms. If you want to know more about GMOs, there's some really good shows on Netflix. They cover it in an entertaining way, like Down to Earth, Rotten, and Kiss the Ground. Kiss the Ground is really good. Please watch that on Netflix. You're gonna learn so much. You're gonna be so much healthier. Learning about those GMOs and the pesticides is what made me go pretty much all organic. Organic foods aren't sprayed with synthetic chemicals, and they're also not genetically modified, so they could be a safer bet for your health. You guys wanna know a massive wake-up call? A real wake-up call? Alcohol is a drug. It's poison. After learning about all the chemicals, I really started thinking about all of the alcohol that I've been consuming for the last 10 years. It's been a part of my life. If I was trying to clean up everything that I was putting in my body, I figured I also had to quit alcohol. I just stopped cold turkey. It was really, really easy for me. Thank God it wasn't actually a problem after all. Who would have thought? I just liked drinking alcohol. One thing that I learned that you could do, especially around like your social settings, is that you could replace that habit with a healthier one, like drinking flavored sparkling water in social situations. Or find a support system like me that truly just wants you to be healthier. We didn't have a problem with drinking alcohol. We just want to stop poisoning our body. If you struggle with cardiovascular issues or inflammation, or you have terrible focus, or you have thyroid issues like my mom does, or any other chronic condition, you might benefit from looking at your diet first. Don't go to a doctor and get all that crap injected into you. Just look at your diet. What are you putting inside of your body? A great way to figure out what your body is deficient in is to get a genetic test. This will show you what your body is specifically lacking so that you can supplement based on what you need, not just what the doctor thinks you need. There's a lot of truth in what Gary Brecka says. He's a human biologist. He says many people supplement just to supplement, but doing it that way could be very expensive and ineffective. Instead, when you know what your body is deficient in, you can target those areas specifically. So get a genetic test. Avoid medication that only treats symptoms. That's another thing that I really am passionate about. On the topic of Gary Brecka, I really recommend finding health experts and resources that focus on treating the root cause of your health problems, not just the symptoms. There's a massive growing community of people who advocate for natural remedies and holistic health approaches. Holistic doctors aren't just some freaks, they're not just some hippies, they truly help. For my family, for my wife, a holistic doctor was the way to go. No longer do we go to a regular doctor and sign up for their subscription service, their prescriptions. I get that wrong all the time because it literally does not fix the root cause. All it does is just make you sicker and sicker and sicker. And as you can see, ever since my son went through all of that and I learned about health, I hate doctors, and I've never felt better. My wife has never felt better. My mom has never felt better. We're all growing. It's a community of people that are getting healthier and healthier, and I want you to be healthier as well. Just simply change the way you eat, and it's gonna completely change everything in your life. To wrap it all up, if there's one thing I've learned this year, it's to be more cautious of what I'm putting in my body. Food isn't just fuel, it's medicine. And when we start to look at it in that way, it changes everything. I appreciate you guys watching me ramble for so long. I'll see you guys on the next video.